don't talk too loud. Don't ever move out of this house without seeking my permission, and don't ever move out of this house without covering all your body from head to toe. Yes, these are some cliche dialogues that every 1 out of 10 women who are living in our country will encounter through their lifetime. Good morning, everyone. Today I'm here to present my view on the topic reality of feminism in rural India. And ideal women do all the household chores, including fetching water, washing dishes, cleaning clothes, cleaning the whole house, taking care of everyone who is there in the house, including husband, in-laws, children, etc. And she is given the title of Uttama Bharatiya Stri. And she is also given the responsibility to be the sarpanch of the village. It is not because men is not greed of such kind of powers. It's because Constitution itself gives her the reservation to be a part of this system. And when anyone who is living in this village society raise voice against such kind of atrocities that is existing in this village, they will be surely thrown out of the village, because they are going to ruin the family structure that has been designed from the past decades itself. And the feminism itself had a very complicated history in India. During the nationalist movement, women were symbolized to be as sacred, pure, and the bearer of the Indian culture. But at the same time, the feminist movement were taking place in the countryside, and the many part of the country witnessed this feminist movement. And no one were there to hear their problems of this child marriage, discriminations that was existing there, remarriage of widows, etc. was there. But no provisions was there, and it was all a patriarchal concept to consider women to symbolize the nation itself. And moving to the rural India, about 85% of the agricultural sector consists of these women, and only 13% of them holds their own land. Despite the legal rights that are existing there, the social as well as the cultural forces doesn't allow them to hold their own land. And despite the statistics, when we think of a farmer, the first thing that will come to our mind is, of course, a farmer, a man who is working hardly in the farmlands. And the uproaring protest that is happening in the countryside, the capital of our country, for having an abysmal state of farmers in our country, it doesn't provide any prioritization for women. When we ask an ordinary rural woman who is there in the rural hinterlands, away from these metros as well as these cities, about what they think about this feminism, they doesn't know that there is a possibility of them to be equal to men, and they are always living in this comfort zone that itself is created by men. And moving to the knowledge of these NGOs in urban areas, more women head these NGOs, and these NGOs are totally related with the discrimination as well as the gender issues. That is totally related with women. But when we move to the rural areas, these NGOs are headed by men, and it only discusses the importance of this agricultural, irrigation, sanitation, etc. there, and gender issues are not discussed there. So what can we do? These problems that is existing, the barriers that is existing, that is the barrier difference between this urban as well as the rural structure. The linguistic barriers are there, many kind educational barriers are there. These barriers has to be struck down, and women should be given equality in this society. And I would like to conclude my words by saying that this shackles of exclusion should be clearly break down by the women, and they should come out of their comfort zone in order to achieve success. Either it's rural or urban, there should be equality in our country. Thank you.